Here's a rewritten version of the article with improved clarity and structure. Parent expresses concern over plan to eliminate the Department of Education. Brendan, a parent of a child on the autism spectrum, relies on an individualized education program, IEP, through the Department of Education. When asked about the proposed elimination of the department, he expressed deep concern. "I'm scared," he admitted. Last year, our county in Maryland received $18 million from the Department of Education to support special education programs. That funding accounts for nearly half of the support for children with special needs. They do an amazing job. The announcement to dissolve the Department of Education has raised many legal and logistical questions. While officials claim special education funding will be protected, Brendan remains skeptical. "Nothing about the chaos we've seen in this administration gives me confidence that there will be any continuity," he said. They argue that eliminating the department won't affect special education funding, but that assumption seems absurd. If you dismantle the department, how can you guarantee that funding remains intact? "I have no assurances that there won't be major disruptions." Brendan also pointed out the contradiction in messaging. They're cutting everything, yet they acknowledge this is important. The president rarely makes exceptions in his policies, yet he made a point to say special education will be spared. But under what authority? Where will these programs be housed? We don't have answers. Concerns over funding for states. Critics argue that the real issue isn't just shifting control to the states, it's whether those states will receive adequate funding. Peter, a political analyst, explained, "The White House argues they're just returning education authority to the states, which sounds reasonable. But the big question is, will states get the same level of funding? That's the whole game." He continued, "If the goal is to save money, then cutting the department would impact local schools. Either states will have to make up the shortfall, or programs will be cut. It's that simple." At the same time, the administration is taking an inconsistent stance. They claim they want to return control to local districts, but they're also telling universities and schools what they can and can't do when it comes to diversity programs and curriculum choices. They can't have it both ways, Peter added. Legal challenges on the horizon. The National Teachers Union has already announced plans to sue over the proposed elimination of the department. Legal expert Joyce weighed in on the potential court battle. "We'll likely see lawsuits filed quickly, arguing that the president is exceeding his authority. The Department of Education was created by Congress under the Carter administration, and only Congress has the power to dismantle it. The courts will have to determine whether the president can unilaterally take this action." She also referenced Project 2025, a conservative policy blueprint, which includes a detailed plan for shrinking the department to the point where Congress would be forced to eliminate it. A long-standing Republican goal, the push to eliminate the Department of Education isn't new. Since its creation under President Jimmy Carter, conservatives have called for its dissolution. Even President Ronald Reagan, who strongly opposed the department, never managed to dismantle it, largely because he understood that only Congress had the power to do so. Reagan had a Democratic Congress and realized he couldn't just erase a federal agency with an executive order, Peter explained. He didn't waste time on a losing battle. The difference now is that we have a president who seems determined to go around Congress, even when his own party controls it. The debate over the Department of Education is far from settled. Whether it survives or not, the bigger question remains. If it's eliminated, what happens next? This version refines the original by making it clearer, more structured, and easier to follow while maintaining the key points. Let me know if you'd like any adjustments.